Okay, so we're going to be working on your math workbook pages 95 and 96 from the packet that you brought home. You're going to be looking at equivalent fractions on a number line. So let's look up here at the example because I really want to show this to you to kind of help you understand how we can see equivalent fractions on a number line. Let me just make this a little clearer. Okay. So you can see here that 1/3 shown right here on the number line is at the same place as 2/6 and 3/9. So all three of those fractions are equivalent. And I apologize, boys and girls, that it's a little bit blurry. Let me fix that. Okay. So all three of these fractions are equivalent because they are the same distance from 0 on the number line. They take up the same amount of space. Now, yes, in order to get to 2/6, you have to jump twice because 2/6 is equivalent to 1/3. You only have to jump once, but they are the same amount of space from 0. So all three of these fractions are equivalent: 1/3 and 2/6 and 3/9. You could also see that if you wanted to look at the fraction 2/3, you could see what would be equivalent to that fraction. And if you look down here, 4/6 is equivalent to 2/3 because it is the same distance from 0 on the number line. From 0 to 4/6 is the same distance as from 0 to 2/3. And you can probably see that 6/9 is also equivalent to 4/6 and 2/3. It is the same distance from 0 on the number line. It's worth the same amount. So let's try some together. So let's look here at problem number 5. There are 3 number lines. This one is divided into fourths: 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and then 1 whole would also be 4/4. Keep that in mind. 4/4 is the same as a whole. This number line is divided into eighths. Remember that this 1 whole would be the same as 8/8. Okay? And this number line is divided into 12ths, and this 1 whole would be 12/12. So we're going to look for the 3 equivalent fractions on the number line, and they want us to stop when we get to the end here of these arrows. So our first one is 3/4. So we're going to look for 2 fractions that are equivalent to 3/4. And I'm going to show you the first one, and then I'm going to have you fill in the second one. So I think it's pretty easy for you to probably see that 6/8 is the same distance from 0 on the number line as 3/4. So that fraction is equivalent to 3/4. I want you to do the last one using this fraction, this number line, because I think that based on the examples that I've shown you, you should be able to figure that out to see what the last fraction would be that's equivalent to those other 2. Okay. If you need to pause the video to figure that out, you can do that. I'm going to turn it over to the back. So first we need to fill in the missing fractions on the number lines. So we're going to fill in all of these missing fractions first. Then we're going to use the number lines to find the missing numerators and denominators. And that's going to be down here at the bottom. We're going to use the number lines to solve these problems down here. So let's do the top part together. We'll do some of them together, but I'm going to let you finish the rest on your own. So this number line is divided into fifths. So we have 1/5, and then this would be 2/5. This would be 3/5. Here's 4/5, and then this is 1 whole, but it's also 5/5. And if it helps you to show and write that down, then you can do that, because really these are divided into fifths. So this is 5/5, but it's also a whole. Because if you have a candy bar cut into 5 parts and you eat all 5 parts, you've eaten the whole candy bar. That's why 5/5 is the same as 1 whole. Okay? This number line is divided into tenths, and this number line is divided into 15ths. So obviously if this is 1/10, then the one that comes right after that would be 2/10. And then there's 3/10 and 4/10. And then this would be 5/10. And you get the idea. You can fill that one in. Okay? Over here, we have 1/15 and 2/15. So this would be 3/15. Okay, and this is 4/15 and 5/15. And you can fill the rest of those in. Now, we're going to do one of these examples together, and then I'd like you to do the rest on your own. So this one says 2/5 is equivalent to how many tenths? So let's find 2/5 on the number line, which is right here. And I can see that if I go down, I can find the fraction that is equivalent to 2/5, which is at the same point on the number line, and that would be 4/10. Because both 2/5 and 4/10 are the same distance from 0. You can see that if I jump from 0 to 2/5, oops, should have gone a little bit further there, okay? And if I jump from 0 to 4/10, I've gone the same distance. So those fractions are equivalent. So I would fill in a 4 here for 4/10. Okay? Now, for problem number 8, this one's a little trickier because they want to know how many fifths are equivalent to 9 something. So let's look at our fifths. Okay? These are our fifths. Alright? Which of our fifths would be equivalent to 9 something? So let's see here. Let's find 9 as a numerator up here. Okay? I see 9 as a numerator here. I see 9 as a numerator here. Okay? If 9 is a numerator here, are there any fifths that are equivalent to that? I don't think so. But if I have a 9 numerator here, let's see if I go up, up, up. Are there any fifths that are equivalent to the fraction that has 9 as a numerator? Yes. 3/5 are equivalent to this fraction that has 9 as a numerator, and that's 9/15. So 3/5 are equivalent to 9/15. Because here's my 3/5. Okay. Here's 9/15. They're in the same place on the number line. They're the same distance from 0. If I hop from 0 to 3/5, I would be going the same distance as if I went from 0 to 9/15. Okay? Now down here, okay, you have to find a fraction that is equivalent to a fraction that has 2 as the numerator and 3/15. So if I were you on this problem, I would first find 3/15. Okay? And I'm going to give you that, which would be right here. You're going to find 2 more fractions that are equivalent to 3/15. One of those fractions is going to have 2 as a numerator, and we don't know anything about the other fraction. But we are looking for 2 fractions that are the same distance from 0 as 3/15. And they'll be up here somewhere. So you can fill that in. Same type of thing down here. We're going to find 3/5, and we are going to look for a fraction that has, we're going to see how many tenths are equivalent to 3/5, and then we're going to find another fraction that is also equivalent to 3/5, and you're going to fill those in. Once you've filled those in, please go and fill them in on the daily assignments page so that I can check over your answers. Okay. All right, good luck.